Joining us now is Nicole Brewster, President and CEO of Renforth Resources. Great to see you again.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, in person this time.
In person, not virtual.
Yeah. So you tell a good story about what you have going at your Surimo district in Quebec. So as I recall, large land package. It's polymetallic. You're near power. Yep. You're near other infrastructure. And it's in Quebec, friendly jurisdiction. So what's not to like?
This is the question, right? No, road access, right through the middle of the property. Hydroelectric power line through the middle of the property, great jurisdiction. No people, friendly First Nations, no significant water bodies to be worried about. What's not to like, and mineralization on surface.
So you've got Victoria West, this project, where you've been discovering battery metals.
Yeah.
But you have hinted at the fact that maybe it ultimately may wind up being a large-scale nickel project. Does that make sense? Or?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's Victoria West bisects the center of the property. It's a 20-kilometer mineralized horizon. Consists of two bodies occurring in the same physical location at different points in time. One's a VMS or an MMS that gives us copper, zinc, and silver right now. And the other one's an ultramafic, which gives us nickel, cobalt, PGEs, and of course we know, due to the work of one of my peers, that ultramafics also absorb carbon when they're exposed to oxygen. So both these systems, same place, different times possibly, but for us today, same time, nickel-rich polymetallic. As we work it more, if we vector on the VMS better, maybe copper is more important. But right now, nickel, given its price and how desperately we need it, nickel's the most important thing. So low-grade nickel, but with the other payable metals, which makes us unique compared to our peers, we have a story to tell you.
And then another story is that your Lalonde project, you say that those grades are a little more consistent.
Yep.
And also with Lalonde, actually what I wanted to ask about that was, is the geological setting the same?
Exactly.
Or it is, okay.
So Lalonde and Victoria are both on the Surimo property. They're separated by about 3.7 kilometers along the same road. They were both discovered when the road was put through in the 1940s. Could be the 60s, I can't exactly remember. However, our interpretation is these two bodies are two arms of a fold nose. The fold nose, unfortunately, is off the property at our neighbor Canadian Malartic. I'm going to try and get those claims back, but I'm barking and I'm not going to get the claims back. But in any case, they're the same, to answer your question. Mineralization's the same. The difference is we're perhaps seeing it a bit more consistent at Lalonde. We haven't drilled Lalonde yet. We'll drill Lalonde later this year, and we'll continue to drill at Victoria. And they're literally 3.7 kilometers apart on the same road, and they mirror each other. Lalonde's 9 kilometers, Victoria's 20. That's the difference.
Right. You said that other companies are paying attention to what you're up to. So will the drivers be proving out your resource, but also a nice tailwind from this demand and this green energy story?
The driver is going to be the demand and the green energy story, as well as our location. Like due north of us is the LaRound mine, crown jewel of Agnico Eagle, in the news, our big neighbor. LaRound is actually a VMS, which is gold rich. Surimo is VMS and an ultramafic, all able to be processed the same way, grinding, floating, very conventional minerals. But others are paying attention. We're waiting with bated breath for an announcement from Tesla. They've been lobbying in the provinces of Ontario and Quebec. They've hired a high-volume recruiter in the province of Quebec. They haven't yet announced where they're putting their Canadian gigafactory. They're putting it in Canada, be it Ontario or Quebec. We're right south of the Trans-Canada Highway, so either works for us. But they're putting it in Canada due to access to raw materials and the eligibility of Canada under the Inflation Reduction Act for feeding the U.S. producers of EVs specifically.
Right.
So for sure, super exciting. People are paying attention because we need so much nickel.
And you probably saw that Elon Musk said the other day, Tesla may have to get into mining and refining ultimately. Maybe that's why he's coming up to it.
He's chewed up. I think for lithium, we have lithium at Surimo. We don't know much about it yet, but lithium, he's tied up most of the lithium. He's tied up most of the nickel. Yeah, they're going to move into mining. My personal bet, what we'll see spur this market will be what we saw spur the Ring of Fire. That was a vertical integration by Cliffs of their access to chromite for the production of stainless steel. we're going to see the I think the vertical integration of access to nickel for battery production for the production of EVs by the major automakers. Personal bet. You know what? It's a bet. If I'm right, you owe me a beer, right?
All right.
But I think it's going to be vertical integration that drives the next market. So that rumor for Tesla, I hadn't heard it yet, doesn't surprise me.
All right, great stuff as always, Nicole.
I get a beer out of it.
All right, we'll see. Might be a beer down the road coming for Nicole Brewster, the president and CEO of Renforth Resources. Our thanks to her.